Steve Epstein is a big name in the classical scene as a producer with names like Yo-Yo Ma, Itzhak Perlman, the Juilliard String Quartet, Audra McDonald, Alison Krauss, and many leading Philharmonic orchestras. Steve started out as an editor for Tom Frost and Tom Shepard, working at Columbia Records. This is where he spent his 33 years in the business. Even though the company has passed into the hands of Sony BMG and Masterworks, he has remained there. With this company, he has had the ability to work in many different genres of music, including classical, jazz, and Broadway music. He treats them equally different and yet the same. With his schooling experience being in music and education, he hears with a critical ear for wrong notes and technical issues. But with his years of experience, he has tuned his ears for stylistic choices as well. He has found that as he's been working in the industry, that more and more people ask him for his choices stylistically. Jazz, he says, is a whole different animal from classical. Without a written score, he finds it is difficult to know exactly what you're looking for. It is an environment of spontaneity and creativity. Having worked with players like Wynton Marsalis and others, he has learned much and is now able to recognize the pinpoints of jazz. He has also been fortunate enough to work with Broadway content. This type of work is also a different kind of experience, as there is a dramatic element that needs to be carried by the music. The music creates a home for characters to live and gives them a musical space. This music is meant to bring characters to life. The performance in this realm is key to providing the right feeling and emphasis for the character and situation. Here, Steve feels, is the place where it is very important for a producer to have a strong musical background. His philosophy is to create a concert hall experience in an idealized acoustical setting. He doesn't like to deal with audiences because it compromises the quality of the sound. He likes a clean presentation with as much space as he can have from the environment. He wants to replicate the concert hall sound as if there's no one there but you. He believes in creating a fertile environment for artists to play their best and still manage the balance of sound. His miking has changed over the years. When he was young, he was using between 30 and 40 mics to mic an orchestra and EQing heavily. He started to lose mics one by one until he finally settled on using as few mics as possible and EQing very little. He claims this will allow for better imaging and give a better sense of depth. In his mind, it is better to press the musicians to play with dynamic range on their own than to do fader moves to bring up an individual instrument. He claims that if there is a solo instrument that needs to play louder, he would rather do a full retake and have that soloist play louder than to mic every instrument and bring it up in the mix. He will often use Omni mics to create space and air, to give a natural open feeling to the recording instead of adding reverb. Epstein believes in the art of music and the skill of the performers. He wants to capture the depth of the music in its naked form. Along the way, he has picked up 13 Grammys, and the soundtrack for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which he worked on, won an Academy Award. I've listened to a lot of his work without knowing it, and now I appreciate it more knowing that it has shaped the music that I love.